Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm here in the Caliente garage, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about the air filter that I actually took out of my Honda Goldwing. I've actually been in the process of doing an air filter change, and I've been waiting on my air filter to arrive. So I just received my K&N air filter. We'll talk about that here in this video, but I just wanted to kind of go over the air filter for the new style Honda Goldwing. I've been reading some of your comments, and there's a debate about when should you change the air filter, or questions like what happens if I run over the recommended service interval, or how long could you actually go before you actually need to change the air filter. So stay tuned to this video, and I just want to talk a little bit about the air filter here in this video before I actually begin the painstaking process of reassembling the Honda Goldwing. So let's get started. So this is actually the air filter that I took out of my Honda Goldwing. So I went a little bit over, and I'm going to show you a close-up of my air filter. We're going to just look at it in some better lighting. Some of you were saying that, you know, I got a lot more life left on this air filter. Some of you said that, you know, it was not time to change it. I could go longer and things like that. And we're going to look at this air filter here in a moment. My replacement air filter that I picked up is the K&N. The part number is HA1818. Some of the information, it says that it's designed to increase horsepower. It has a multi-layer protection, 95 through 99% efficiency. It's washable and reusable up to 75,000 miles between cleaning. So we're going to take this out the box and look at it, and I want to show you what we're getting, and then we're going to talk about the air filter. So this is the K&N air filter. I actually installed one of these into my previous generation Honda Goldwing, and I think that one had a 50,000 mile recommended change. This particular air filter says 75,000 between recharging or between cleaning. I want to give you a close-up look at my current air filter that I took out of the Honda Goldwing. So as you guys can see, if you really look down in there, man, you got bugs. Looks like an oil residue. And this thing is filthy. Look at that. If you look between the pleats, this thing is filthy. So just looking at it at a distance, it doesn't look that bad. But when you really get down in there, there's a lot of dirt, particles. Yeah, it was time. This thing got leaves. It's got bugs. I mean, if you look down in those pleats, it's filthy. Oh my God. It's got all kinds of crud. Look at that. Look at that nasty stuff down here in the air filter. Flip it over, you can't really tell. But this air filter is sucking in from the top. So everything is getting caught on the top, and air is being pulled out from the bottom. Some of you guys were saying that Max says that you don't have to change your air filter as often as the Honda service interval requires. Honda requires it at 16,000 miles, and at a glance, it doesn't look that bad. So what happens if the air filter is really dirty? You kind of get rough idling, increased emissions, and as the clogged air filter restricts the airflow, it impacts the overall efficiency and potentially causing issues with your engine operations. You're going to get reduced power if this air filter is clogged. A clogged filter restricts air intake, leading to loss of power and difficulty accelerating. Also, you're going to get a lower fuel economy. The engine needs to work harder to draw in air, resulting in increased fuel consumption. Also, it can cause rough idling. Insufficient air can cause the engine to run unevenly, leading to rough idling. Increased emissions. A dirty air filter can lead to incomplete combustion, emitting more pollutants. And the worst of all is the potential for engine damage. See, in extreme cases, a severely clogged air filter can damage the engine components due to an excessive strain. This is one of the reasons why I'm going back with the K&N air filter. The K&N air filter, I'm gonna open this thing up. You could actually recharge this thing. Now, I really wouldn't recharge it. You know, for the price of this thing, if I was going to change out my air filter, I would just buy a new one. But you can wash it, you can clean it, you can recharge it, put fresh oil in it. For me personally, since I've gone through the trouble of taking out the air filter, I'll just buy a new K&N air filter. One of the things that a air filter does is it protects the engine from sucking in dirt particles, which could cause engine damage. But when you look at the difference between the K&N and the paper filter, the K&N air filter got bigger pleats. It also has a wire mesh along the pleats, whereas the Honda filter just have a complete wire mesh over the whole filter. So I can see where this air filter will restrict some of the airflow, but you'll get a better airflow with the K&N. And then one of my favorites is that the K&N says that you could go 75,000 miles between changes or between recharging. Would I actually push my Honda Goldwing 75,000 miles before recharging it? I personally wouldn't, but K&N says that the air filter is good for 75,000 miles. Then you need to clean it and recharge it. I picked this thing up on Amazon. I think I paid around 60 bucks for it, $65 or something like that. When it comes down to changing the air filter, I'll just replace it. I'm not going to try to clean it and recharge it. It's easier for me to just buy a new one. Somebody else may tell you what you want to hear, that you don't have to change it as often. I know one rider that has a earlier model Goldwing, and he says he's never changed his air filter.
Oh my God!
Will your bike stop on you if you don't change it at 16,000 miles? Probably not. Will your bike put you down at if you go over the 16,000 miles? I doubt it. But as I listed, some of the things that you can experience is reduced power, lost fuel economy, rough idling, increased emissions, and potential engine damage. So at some point, you got to change your air filter. So even if you try to put it off to a later time, at some point, you're going to have to address changing out the air filter. And unfortunately, when Honda built the Goldwing, they built the Goldwing around the air filter. It's difficult to actually change this thing out. So if you don't want to do it personally, then I just recommend just taking it to the dealer and letting them change out the air filter. What do you guys think? Be sure to drop it down in the comment section below. If you like the video, click the like button. If you haven't already, stay tuned to the channel. And I'll see you guys a little bit later out here in the Caliente garage.